Meta, Amazon, Tesla, the American giants that once dominated the market, are now facing an unprecedented economic storm. What happened?
I'm refusing to buy anything from them, even if it's miniature carrot. I check the package.
Game that is unsettling everybody, that is creating chaos. We can eat without products from the US.
A wave of boycotting American products is spreading globally, and this is not just a temporary event. From China, Europe to the Middle Eastern countries, consumers are turning their backs on American brands. But that's just a part of the bigger picture. The trade confrontation with successive retaliatory tariffs is pushing many American corporations into a difficult position. Soaring production costs, disrupted supply chains, while domestic competitors in other countries are becoming increasingly stronger. Some companies are plummeting at an unprecedented rate in modern economic history. Let's explore the list of the 10 fastest collapsing names, and you might be surprised to see which giants are on the brink. There was a time when Tesla was a symbol of innovation, a pride of the American automotive industry. But now, Elon Musk's electric car company is facing unprecedented economic challenges. As the wave of boycotting American goods spreads and the trade war between the US and China escalates, Tesla also has to maneuver to maintain its position. Tesla's stock just experienced an unprecedented shock, losing $127 billion in market capitalization in a single day, as a wave of protests against Elon Musk spread across the United States. Initially occurring sporadically, they have now become a nationwide movement, from New York to Tucson. The cause is believed to stem from CEO Elon Musk focusing too much on his role in the White House, causing investors to worry about the company's management capabilities.
It's the small ways we can protest as consumers. A lot of people are trying to express their anger, their feeling of betrayal by the United States.
Although Elon Musk has spoken out to reassure, emphasizing that Tesla is still performing excellently, the market seems unconvinced. Currently, Tesla's stock price is around $700, much lower than its previous peak. A market analyst stated,
I think that can be tied to his time at Doge. It has been a distraction for the company, and it's been a problem for the brand.
The wave of protests is not only taking place on the streets, but also exploding on social media, with the #Tesla Takedown campaign. Thousands of posts sharing negative experiences with Tesla and Musk have spurred many to join the boycott movement. Meanwhile, many Tesla owners are worried about the safety of their vehicles, especially with reports of vandalism targeting cars bearing the Tesla emblem. Nick Malo, a new Tesla owner, shared,
I just bought this car yesterday. I'm most worried about is what I've seen on the news. I don't care where you fall politically, don't touch my car.
Not everyone is attached to their Tesla. Some car owners have decided to remove Tesla from their lives. Singer Sheryl Crow even filmed a video of her Tesla being towed away to express her joy at no longer being associated with the brand. Tesla's revenue has decreased in many major markets around the world, notably in Europe and China. According to the European Automobile Manufacturers Association, Tesla's sales in Europe fell by as much as 45% last month. And in China, which was once Tesla's most important market, accounting for nearly 40% of global sales. But currently, sales here are plummeting severely. Just in January 2024, Tesla sales in China dropped by 27% compared to the same period last year. Chinese consumers are turning their backs on American brands. Instead, they are choosing domestic names like BYD and NIO, new domestic brands with advanced technology and prices thousands of dollars cheaper than Tesla. Importantly, it is not affected by the US trade confrontation. Not only is Tesla losing customers, but it is also under immense pressure from production costs. The high tariffs imposed by the US on lithium batteries and electronic components imported from China have significantly increased the cost of Tesla vehicles. Tesla's factories in the US are also facing difficulties due to supply chain disruptions, driving material costs higher than ever. When Tesla's stock plummeted, investors' confidence also wavered. Large funds have started to reduce their holdings of TSLA shares, causing the company's market value to evaporate by billions of USD. Given the current situation, what can Tesla do to salvage the situation? This brand is forced to reduce its dependence on components from China and seek supplies from other countries. But this process is not easy at all and requires a lot of time. In addition, some experts believe that Tesla may have to continue lowering car prices to retain customers, but this could directly impact the company's profits. Can Tesla turn the tide, or will it continue to decline? With the current situation, Tesla is at a crucial crossroads. Either adapt quickly, or be left behind in the global electric vehicle race. Walmart used to be the unbeatable name in the American retail industry. With over 4,600 stores across the United States, Walmart serves tens of millions of consumers each week. They take pride in their low-price model, diverse products, and massive distribution system. But now, even this giant is staggering in the face of unprecedented economic shocks. Many economists consider Walmart an important barometer of the U.S. economy because the company offers a wide range of products and is the largest food retailer in the country. If Walmart forecasts a decrease in customer spending, it is not just a problem for Walmart, but could also be a sign that the economy is entering a difficult phase. A large portion of the products sold at Walmart, from clothing, household items to canned food, are imported from China and Canada. However, Trump's imposition of high tariffs on imported goods from these countries has significantly increased import costs. This forced Walmart to raise retail prices to cover the losses, and no one else. American consumers are the first to be affected by this tariff confrontation. Food, fuel, and service prices are all rising, forcing many families to prioritize essential items and cut back on unnecessary purchases. Walmart, which is famous for its everyday low prices model, is gradually losing its advantage because its prices are no longer as attractive as before.
They are waiting for lower prices in the grocery store, in the gas stations, and everything else.
Along with that, the rise of Shein and Temu, formidable e-commerce platforms from China. These platforms offer goods at extremely low prices, free shipping, and continuous promotions, attracting American consumers, especially those looking for cost-saving solutions. Just in 2023, Temu has reached over 50 million users in the US, a concerning figure for Walmart. If Walmart wants to stay afloat in the current economy, it needs to find solutions soon. Walmart is ramping up its online sales to compete with Temu and Shein, launching more discount programs and faster delivery services. In the near future, Walmart may have to launch stronger promotional packages, focusing on essential items to retain loyal customers. Walmart is facing a major challenge: how to maintain its #1 position in the retail industry when customers have more and more alternatives. Will Walmart be able to adapt and continue to dominate the market? Or will it gradually fade in the face of fierce competition? Time will tell. But one thing is certain: Walmart's golden era is no longer what it used to be. For more than a century, General Motors, GM, and Ford have laid the foundation for the American automotive industry. From Ford's first Model T to the F-Series and Chevrolet Silverado pickup trucks dominating the market, these two giants were once symbols of American economic power. But now, the situation has changed. Export sales have sharply decreased. Component prices are rising. Consumers are switching to domestic cars in European countries, China, and Mexico. Both GM and Ford are facing a rather bleak business market. Many people are wondering, is this the beginning of the collapse of the American auto industry? In 2023, U.S. car exports to China fell by more than 30% due to policies prioritizing domestic vehicles and high tariffs. In Europe, consumers are gradually shifting towards domestic brands such as Volkswagen, Renault, and electric models from Tesla or BYD, causing the demand for GM and Ford vehicles to decline. In Mexico, which used to be one of the major export markets for GM and Ford, cheaper domestic car brands are dominating the market. China has also implemented policies to support domestic cars and restrict imported vehicles. Companies like BYD and XPeng are not only supported by the government, but are also favored by consumers due to their lower prices and more advanced technology. American car manufacturers heavily depend on imported components from China, Mexico, and Canada, ranging from semiconductors to electric vehicle batteries. When the U.S. imposes high tariffs on imported goods, the prices of components also rise, leading to a significant increase in production costs. Ford and GM cannot absorb all these costs, forcing them to raise car prices. This makes customers even more hesitant to buy new cars. Under this enormous pressure, the two American automotive giants are also looking for ways to turn the situation around. Instead of relying on components from China, GM and Ford are looking to produce in India, Vietnam, and Mexico to reduce costs and avoid the impact of tariffs. At the same time, these companies are lobbying the U.S. government for more favorable trade policies to help them maintain their international market share. Ford and GM were once symbols of the American dream, but now they are facing an uncertain future. If they do not quickly adapt, it is very likely that these two giants will follow the path of American car companies that have previously faded away, such as Pontiac or Oldsmobile. Apple used to be the ruler in the smartphone world, and the iPhone was a symbol of luxury and innovation. But now, everything is changing. iPhone sales in China have plummeted severely. Europe is tightening regulations on Apple, and the US market is facing economic pressure. Apple seems to be facing many difficulties in maintaining its position in the market. Do you remember the years when, every time Apple released a new iPhone model, thousands of people would line up from midnight to buy this expensive phone? But now, that scene is gradually disappearing, at least in China and Europe. In the final quarter of 2023, Apple sold only 10 million iPhones in China, a decrease of nearly 25% compared to the same period last year. Meanwhile, the European Union, EU, is tightening antitrust policies, forcing Apple to allow the installation of third-party applications, something Apple has opposed for many years. The high tariffs imposed by the US on components imported from China have increased production costs. As a result, the iPhone has become one of the most expensive phone lines in the world, while competitors like Samsung and Xiaomi continuously launch better-priced products. In addition, the EU's requirement for Apple to open the iOS operating system to allow users to download apps outside of the App Store. This weakens the exclusive ecosystem that helps Apple earn billions of dollars each year. Under pressure from multiple sides, Apple cannot sit still. They are forced to find a way to turn the situation around. Apple may need to launch more reasonably priced iPhone models to compete with rivals from China and South Korea. If Apple cannot compete on price, they need to create real technological breakthroughs, instead of just making incremental upgrades each year. One thing is certain, Apple is no longer the irreplaceable brand it once was. With the increasingly fierce competition and unfavorable policies from the US, China, and Europe, the iPhone empire is facing one of the greatest challenges in its history. A company that once dominated the skies, supplying aircraft to hundreds of airlines around the world, is now facing the risk of collapse, with orders being canceled, stock prices plummeting, and customer trust nearly depleted. China Southern Airlines from China has significantly reduced its orders for Boeing, instead opting for domestic aircraft lines like the Comac C919. In Europe, Airbus is dominating the market share, leaving major airlines like Lufthansa and Air France-KLM with fewer options for Boeing. This company is also affected in the Middle East and Southeast Asia, as many countries begin to consider diversifying their aircraft supply instead of relying on the U.S. Boeing stock has dropped more than 50% since the beginning of 2023, reflecting a loss of confidence from investors. Financial reports show that the company has continuously incurred losses over several quarters, with revenue from the commercial aviation sector severely declining. Along with that, the technical scandal involving the 737 MAX series has damaged Boeing's reputation, leading airlines to consider alternatives. The U.S. increasing tariffs on aerospace components and aluminum from China, the EU, and Canada has raised Boeing's production costs, reducing the competitiveness of its products. Conversely, other countries have also imposed retaliatory tariffs on American airplanes, making it difficult for Boeing to export. Boeing's decline is not only a shock to the American aviation industry, but also a warning about the significant changes in the global economic order. If they do not timely adjust their strategy, can Boeing regain its former glory? Or will it gradually be replaced by foreign competitors? Imagine one day you open your social media app, but instead of seeing a multitude of posts from friends, groups, and favorite pages, you only see a quiet social network where users are gradually leaving. This is not a distant scenario, it is actually happening to Meta. Once the empire that dominated global social media, Meta is now facing a strong wave of backlash, causing the company's value to plummet significantly. In Europe, the GDPR data protection law is becoming increasingly strict, making it difficult for Meta to collect and use user data. In Asia, many countries are promoting local platforms to replace Facebook and Instagram. For example, in China, WeChat and Weibo have completely replaced Meta's applications. Only in 2023, Meta has laid off more than 20,000 employees in several rounds of cost-cutting. The value of Meta's stock has dropped more than 40% from its peak, reflecting a loss of confidence from investors. The Metaverse project has consumed tens of billions of USD, but has yet to yield any profit, further increasing financial pressure. The US-China trade war has led Asian countries to prioritize using domestic social media platforms instead of Facebook and Instagram. Even the governments in many countries are considering imposing higher taxes on American tech companies, while supporting European tech platforms like Vero and Mastodon. One thing is clear: the era of Meta's absolute dominance is over. Users have more and more choices, governments are tightening control, and domestic competitors are rising strongly. If Meta does not adapt in time, the company could face a decline faster than anyone imagines. Nike stores around the world, once bustling with customers lining up to buy Jordan or Air Max shoes, are now gradually becoming quiet. Consumers are starting to turn their backs on the American brand, instead opting for other brands like Li-Ning or Anta. Nike's revenue faces the risk of plummeting, stock prices are falling, and the future is more uncertain than ever. Just in 2023, Nike's stock has dropped more than 35% from its peak. Revenue from international markets, which once accounted for more than 60% of Nike's total revenue, is now severely declining, forcing the company to continuously cut costs. In China, once Nike's second-largest market, sales have dropped by more than 20% in the past year. Domestic brands like Anta and Li-Ning not only have a price advantage, but are also supported by the government and consumers as part of the Buy Local movement. In Europe, the Buy Local trend is causing consumers to prioritize domestic brands like Adidas and Puma over American companies. Clearly, Nike is no longer the giant that cannot be defeated as it once was. Competition is becoming increasingly fierce. Consumer trends are changing, and global politics are directly impacting the company's sales. Can Nike adapt and find a new path? Or will it continue to slide down the rankings of top sports brands? Time will give us the answer. Caterpillar Inc. is known as the giant in the construction and mining machinery industry, always the #1 choice for construction companies worldwide. But now, Trump's imposition of tariffs on steel, aluminum, and imported components has significantly increased the cost of Caterpillar's products. Just a few years ago, the sight of Caterpillar excavators was ubiquitous on construction sites from Dubai to Beijing. But now, those machines are gradually being replaced by cheaper brands that are just as effective and supported by the local government. Construction companies in China, the Middle East, and Africa are significantly reducing their purchases of Caterpillar machines, instead turning to Sany, China, Komatsu, Japan, and Volvo, Sweden. In 2023, revenue from the Chinese market decreased by nearly 30%, significantly impacting Caterpillar's global profits. Chinese companies not only compete on price, but also invest heavily in technology and after-sales service, causing many international customers to choose them over Caterpillar. Meanwhile, Caterpillar is raising product prices to offset costs, making them increasingly less competitive. Caterpillar was once the pride of the American industry, but now they are being besieged from all sides. Rising production costs, customers turning away, and strong competition from Asia. Now, Caterpillar can no longer rely on its reputation. They need a strong strategy to maintain their market share. The company also needs to enhance the use of recycled materials and automated production technology to cut costs. Can Caterpillar adapt to maintain its position, or will it gradually lose market share to competitors from China and Europe? Amazon used to be a symbol of dominance in the global e-commerce industry. From an online bookstore, they have evolved into a multinational corporation, controlling everything from retail and logistics to cloud computing. But now, this giant machine is slowing down. There was a time when Amazon could sell anything, deliver quickly, and had almost no competitors on its level. But that's just a thing of the past. Revenue from Amazon's e-commerce segment in the US only increased by 4% in the past year, the lowest growth in over a decade. Meanwhile, competitors in Asia, like Alibaba and JD.com, are experiencing strong growth, pushing Amazon out of many important international markets. The high tariffs imposed by the US on imports from China have caused the prices of products on Amazon to increase. Global fuel prices and shipping fees have increased by 15 to 25%, reducing Amazon's profits. Amazon's warehouses are overwhelmed due to increased inventory, but decreased purchasing power. More and more American consumers are turning to support small businesses instead of buying from Amazon. The harsh working policies at Amazon have also been criticized, causing many customers to turn away from this platform. Amazon used to be one of the fastest growing companies in the world, but now they are facing unprecedented challenges: rising costs, customer attrition, and strong competition. In your opinion, can Amazon find a way to adapt, or will it gradually lose its position to new competitors? McDonald's was once a global icon of the fast food industry, but now they are facing a wave of boycotts and fierce competition. Revenue in China, France, and several European countries has significantly declined, while operating costs continue to rise. Stores in many international markets are forced to close or restructure. In China, one of McDonald's largest markets, customers are turning to local chains like Liang Crispy Roll or Luckin Coffee, which offer menus more suited to local tastes. In Europe, consumers are increasingly interested in organic food, limiting fast food originating from the US. Besides that, consumer trends are gradually changing. The younger generation prefers fresh, healthy food over fast, processed meals. Some people see McDonald's as a representative of American culture, causing consumers in many countries to turn away. If they still want to maintain their position in the market, McDonald's needs to adapt to new culinary trends and expand their menu with healthier options. Improve marketing strategies to regain the trust of international customers. Can McDonald's overcome the crisis, or will it continue to slide? Let's wait and see. When colossal corporations like Tesla, Amazon, Meta, and Ford are in turmoil, one obvious thing is happening. America is no longer invincible in the global market. The companies that once dominated the world are now gradually losing their advantage, not only due to competition, but also because of trade policies, tariff wars, and changes in consumer habits. It cannot be denied that America is facing a crucial moment. If there is no change, many large corporations may lose their position or even disappear completely. The collapse of major corporations is not just a business story. It is a warning sign for the entire American economy. What do you think about this crisis? Can America turn the tide? Please share your opinion in the comments. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest analyses on the global economy and trade.